play, boy.
Alright, welcome to Knowledge Heist number 2. We're here with our good friends, Theo's BBQ. Got a background during the intermission, so we'll have them introduce themselves. So go ahead, man. Introduce yourself.
John Zaragoza, Theo's BBQ pitmaster here in town. Having a good time doing what we do. This is my sister,
Regina Zaragoza.
So I mean, again, our purpose here is we're gonna, tap into their mental, see what they have to share with us through the business and then through life experience, man. We got a good background story behind the scenes, but we want to share with you guys. So let's start off with that, man. I know during right now you said that this isn't your full-time job.
Right.
This is more of a passive income, man.
It is, yeah.
But
it is.
you mentioned your dream, like you want to have a food truck.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening in the near future?
Well, we always say that we want to have sort of a goal, maybe the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
We see ourselves either being mobile with a food truck or trailer, something we can take to competitions and roll out or roll up at different events or even at like job sites and stuff.
Yeah.
Or even having sort of a little like rib shack here in town, where you just pump barbecue out, or both, you know what I mean? And this way, something small, a few tables, maybe have a few taps, and then just somewhere where people can just get together and enjoy that, southern style,
ambiance,
slow smoke, family atmosphere sort of thing.
I made my mouth water. Yeah. That's good, man. Talk a little bit about the inspiration, man, like what started it, because I know you mentioned.
Yeah, so we've been barbecuing, our family, being Hispanic background, this sort of the family gathering was always barbecue in the park, barbecue in the park, whether it be at my Uncle Daniel's house, whether it be at our house or my grandfather's house. But, it was just sort of we always got together, but it was always like traditional, Weber style over a flame sort of barbecue, right?
Yeah.
Chicken, tri-tip, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And so I kind of grew up around that, and as I got older, like my uncles would have me start taking over, as I got into my teenage years. They'd show me how to do stuff, how do you, when do you, put the sauce on, when not to put sauce on, how to season things and what flavors go with what, and then I remember like in my early 20s, my oldest uncle, Daniel Alvarez, passed away. He had leukemia, and it was a very tough time for our family because my Uncle Daniel was the oldest brother of his siblings. My mom was the oldest of all the 8 brothers and sisters, and he was the second, but he was the oldest male, and he was the one that kind of brought the family together all the time, always together. So, it was a heartbreaker, and we think about it, we miss him.
Of course.
Every day.
Of course, man.
Every day. And so years go by, and my sister had bought me my first smoker for Father's Day one year. I was still, early 20s, mid 20s. I was a young father.
Definitely.
Had my first son Michael came along, and it was just just a traditional Home Depot offset. So offset smoker means the firebox is on one side and the chimney is on the other side. So offset. Okay. Right now we cook on a reverse flow smoker, and I'll talk more about that later, where the firebox and the chimney are on the same side. So it kind of
cooks differently.
Creates a convection type oven, and
nice.
I think, in my opinion, it cooks a lot better.
Definitely.
But so we were cooking on this charbroil sort of Home Depot smoker for a long time, and it did good, and started doing like turkeys for Thanksgiving. So the family would come over and we'd fill that thing up with turkeys, and man, it came nothing like a smoked turkey, right? It's nothing like that. The flavors, the juiciness, the tenderness, I think it came out. So every year that's sort of been the thing, and then Thanksgivings were at my house,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then living in San Jose, coming out to Hollister, bought a house out here, and I burned through that smoker quick, right? So my sister, what does she do? She buys me another
one.
I'm like, man, is this like this girl just supports the heck out of me, Like she knows what my passions are and what I love, and then we started doing bigger parties at my house here in town, because we actually got a nice house out here. We got a swimming pool, so families would come to our house, and then we started doing that, and then burned through that smoker pretty heavy too.
Well, it was his birthday present, and we collaborated, and I told him, well, what do you really want for your birthday? And he told me he wanted this smoker that he was looking into.
He's been eyeing it.
Yeah, and he's done research back and forth for months trying to find a good smoker that had the quality, steel, thickness, durability, reputation. So he was looking at what he wanted.
Definitely.
And he told me the brand that he wanted. So then that's why I got it for him for his birthday.
Yeah, we I ended up seeing, it was just by chance. I was driving down the 99 between Fresno and Selma for work one day, and And that's when I was right in the market for a new smoker. Like she said, I was just like kind of looking and researching them all. And this flatbed diesel truck drove by with like 8 of these huge smokers on it. Just by chance, I was thinking about it at the same time. I was like,
sign.
Traction there.
Right?
God's looking out for me, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
He showed, like,
He's sending you a message.
Dude, it was weird. Pigeons started flying by.
Angel. Yeah, dude. That's crazy, man.
And all I saw was a big plaque on that said Lang, L-A-N-G.
That's
Lang,
the one
right?
you wanted.
Yeah.
That's the one. And so I started like looking at them like, oh man, these things they're legit. They're heavy duty. And they had a model for every size, you know.
Wow.
And but they were expensive, you know. So
and they're
like
in
you
Georgia.
said, I was they're out of Georgia.
Oh, so they ship from Georgia.
Custom made. So I told my sister, I was looking at one of these. I'm gonna save my money. And then that next year for my birthday,
boom, it's right there.
She freaking showed up in my house, man. I was like blown away, floored. We got a little backyard model, 36-inch with a charcoal grill on the side, combination. And,
that must have been exciting, dude.
Yeah, and it was so I could not wait to fire it up. The door was so heavy, it took me 2 hands just to lift it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how heavy duty this model was, and this is a 36, right?
Yeah.
So I cooked on that a lot in my backyard, and we would have parties and stuff, and then people started saying, hey, you guys should open a restaurant. You know, it's like, because the product we're putting out of this machine was just top notch. You know, it didn't matter what you put in it. It was like Midas's touch, man. It just turned to gold. You know.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. You know, so so then we started talking. I was like, man, yeah, we should get a bigger model, be portable, something on a trailer. And then, like 3 years later, of course, what shows up at her house for Christmas? The one that I'm cooking on right now.
There you go.
It's a 60-inch model with
Lang.
charcoal
Yep.
on the front, sidecar trailer to pack all my gear, coolers, tables, everything. So it was like the dream barbecue set, right? And this thing's huge. I mean, I had a 100-pound pig in it yesterday.
Yeah, you talked about
that.
that.
Yeah. So it's big, and that pig was over 50 inches long, you know. So the thing fit in there, you know, perfect. I think. You know, with plenty of room, and I actually had other meats in there too while I was cooking this pig, so there's plenty of room in there.
Wow.
And that was just like, man, I was floored, dude. I was in tears that day, you know, just seeing that thing. I was so excited. I couldn't wait to fire it up, and then so we started cooking on that thing, and we started doing like just little parties here and there, small stuff. And then one day, the owner at Johnny's changed hands from the previous owner to now the current owner, Peter Lago. And my sister was there one day, and she called me up, and she's like, hey, they're looking to see someone to kind of do some food out here. Come out here and talk to them. I was like, what? I really didn't know what to think about. I was like, oh, okay, let's go talk to them and see what's going on. So I went down there.
At this point, though, was it still kind of just like family thing?
Yeah.
So before, like your sister, you know, calls you up, hey, come over here looking for someone. You're kind of like, kind of iffy about it?
Yeah, I was. I wasn't sure, you know, if I could do it, you know. But I had done big parties at the house, you know, like for my wife. You know, we had done.
Was it because like there was a pressure, like like other people are gonna eat your food, or like was it more like I don't want to step in there yet because I don't think I got it? Or was it
a little bit of both? A little bit of both. A little bit of confidence and a little bit of like, oh, you know, what's the response going to be like? What are people going to think? But you know, and before this, we actually cut our teeth on this barbecue cooking for the Kimmick family, Jack Kimmick and Sarah Kimmick from CK Meat Club. Sometimes you see I promote them on my page and stuff because they have a whole. Pig ranch here in Hollister, and we get our.
Is that where you get your pigs from?
Yeah, we get our pigs from them, and we're doing like parties for them or different events. So you know, I'm cooking whole pigs and stuff, and now it's done. You know, we're going to be at Johnny's cooking, you know, meats like smaller meats, and the whole thing behind that was, oh man, how am I going to hold food? You know, because you cook in a barbecue, and it's not like someone puts an order in and you start throwing chicken on the grill. I mean, that's like at 45 minutes later, right? You can't do that.
Yeah.
You gotta. So the whole like trick was, okay, now we need to figure this out. You know what I mean? Because cooking for a party at your house for guests, the food's ready when they arrive and they start eating right there. In a restaurant style environment, you know, people are gonna come and go throughout the day, so that stuff's got to be ready to go. It's got to be warm. It's got to be the quality's got to be the same all day.
Yeah.
So that's what made me the most nervous. So we went down there and talked to them. And, you know, it turned out we were going to do like sort of a tasting. Like it was, I think it was the end of February 2018. We came down and I cooked and we did a tasting.
Like a trial phase? Like to see how this could work
Johnny's,
out?
And we kind of, you know, for the clientele came in and we're doing samples and, you know, doing stuff, just handing it out, not really charging anybody for anything and just seeing what the response was going to be like. And man, the response was overwhelming. Like people were like, they were digging it. People were saying like our brisket was some of the best brisket they ever had. And we've had people from Texas ride in on their bikes to Johnny's. It's a biker bar, right? So people come in, and some guys from Texas say, "Man, this brisket is just as good as anything I've had in Texas." And right there, that's to me, that's like the ultimate compliment, you know. Because
Definitely, bro.
We're California. We're known for tri-tip, you know.
Yeah.
And open flame barbecuing, not that southern style slow smoke. And that's what we do. We do that slow smoke. You know, my ribs may take 6 hours to cook, but they're gonna be some of the best ribs you ever had.
Definitely.
You know, versus throwing them on a grill and you can knock them out in 45 minutes. You know.
Bro, I like that, man.
So yeah, then we started doing that. In addition to that, we started jumping into some competitions.
Yeah.
You know, and just to see, okay, how does our barbecue rank amongst California's, in this area's guys? So we went out to Series one year, our first competition, 2017.
Where's that at?
In Series, it's over near Modesto, just south of Modesto.
You won that.
Yeah, we went there. We won that in a grand champion. Our first competition ever was ribs and chicken, backyard competition, and we took second place in ribs, second place in chicken, but it was enough points to win the overall. Yeah.
Wow,
so
dude.
That was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, you know, to see that and do that. And then 2018, because that was from the end of 2017, and 2018 I put down together a schedule, and 7 competitions we did in 2018. I do like one a month or so, and in those 7 we were in the top 3 in 6 of them, and one of them I took like 7th place, rib comp in Livermore.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, competitions we do them, but I don't do them like to go out there and want to try to win them all. I just go out there to try to perfect my craft, and if we get a call, that's awesome.
Exactly.
You know?
So
you want to get a little bit of exposure.
Yeah,
We get
that's what you want.
experience.
Names out there and
Exposure,
stuff.
experience.
I think you can relate to that,
personal
right?
growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can relate to that. Meaning in the barber competitions, I go to expose my work. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion,
Right.
and everybody thinks theirs is the best.
Right.
But when you go to a competition, you expose your work, and the feedback is great
Yes.
because it makes you grow as an individual. Is
Absolutely.
that kind of what you guys were doing?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
exposing
Because
yourself?
you know, when we go to competitions, I mean, you got guys out there that are cooking, putting out some phenomenal food. You know, and of course, everybody, it's like a big party. It's camaraderie. You know, so everybody gets together and you're exchanging food, exchanging numbers, talking. You're eating other people's ribs.
There's no real tension, right?
No,
it's more like
it's super cool, super
Yeah,
chill,
yeah.
super fun. People come over, they hey man, we're making breakfast burritos. Come on over here, you know, and because it's an all day thing, you start cooking it at like 5 a.m. and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's fun, and like I said, everybody puts out phenomenal food. You start tasting other people's food, go, oh my god, these ribs are delicious. There's no way mine will stack up to these, and then we get a call. You know what I mean? It's like we end up taking 3rd place overall at the Santa Clara Valley Barbecue Championships in 2018. You know, and for our chicken and stuff, and I was tasting other chicken that day, and there's some good chicken out there. But you're right; it's opinions of the judges, right? The judges have an opinion.
Well, yeah.
You know, so again, I have to remember that because going in there thinking, oh, my stuff is hands down the best. Of course, you're always going to feel and think that way.
Yeah, of course. You have to, man. It's your product.
Exactly. But you're also at the mercy of what other people think about it too. And at the end of the day, you just got to know and remember and not take it personal that, hey, you are putting out good stuff. There are a lot of people who would eat that hands down. Just because a judge says it was this or that doesn't mean it's not bad. It's not bad. You know, everybody who's at those places, those competitions, they're all putting out good stuff.
But that's the reason for a competition. There's always going to be somebody who's more experienced or better, but that's why you go, so you can work on your skill set,
So
you can work on your network.
I like that, man.
Build on that.
So just kind of like right now, you just said literally feeling nervous about Johnny's.
Yeah.
You're talking about all these competitions. Now, like in this moment, looking back in hindsight, what would you rate like your confidence level? Like, I feel like you've already accomplished a lot since you've only been established, 2 years? Yeah, man. I mean, you've done all that in 2 years, man. For a business to actually flourish, they say it takes about 5 to 7 years. Mm-hmm. You're on year 2, man. You felt nervous at first. You're all these competitions, man. You're winning. You're getting ranked. You're getting calls. What does that kind of? This gets tricky though, because does it affect your ego or does it humble you?
You know, you're right. It can affect your ego, and I always try to stay grounded. You know, because once you start, you know, to think that you're above and beyond what your capabilities are, that's when you start making mistakes. And
Definitely.
So, do I get nervous? Absolutely. Like for example, I cooked that 100-pound pig yesterday. Dude, I've cooked over 30 pigs. You know, in over the last 3 or 4 years. I still get nervous because that's a big piece of meat, right? You don't want to ruin it. You want the people to have a good experience. You want them to enjoy it. And as long as I keep myself grounded and know that, hey, you know, don't slack. You know, you don't slack off. You don't cut corners. You know, you do everything right. You do it, you know, step by step the way you always have, and it comes out great at the end. And as long as I keep to that mentality, You know,
keep you 10 toes on the ground.
It keeps me grounded, and I'll never be bigger than I think I am. You know, and that's one
good,
thing
man.
I don't want to do. And I appreciate, you know, feedback, especially from my uncles. My uncles will give me feedback when they eat my food or when they come and see me, and they'll say, "Hey man, this ribs they got too much sauce," or "Hey man, you put too much salt," or this. Oh, hey, okay, so now I gotta go back to the drawing board.
Refine
Yes,
that
I'm
formula.
always going back to the drawing board because we're always looking for ways to make it better. You know, for me to sit here and tell you that I got the best barbecue that I think I can make, not even close.
Definitely.
You know, we're still learning. We're still figuring it out. We're still, I mean, I'm still adjusting my rub. I mean, we just talked about this the other day about how we're going to tweak our rub a little bit and do some stuff to it.
That's the beauty of it, right? Because I feel like a lot of people get scared of the unknown, right? But while you keep practicing on your skill, I mean, I feel like that there's a beauty in that. You know what I mean? There's a beauty in not knowing, right?
Sure.
Can you talk about that? Like,
yeah, there is, absolutely. And at the same time, like, you know, I have confidence in what we do. Like, we can go to Johnny's and set up and pump food out and do it like clockwork today versus when we first started.
Yeah.
Where we were nervous, we had stumbling blocks, we fell on our face, I ruined meats and stuff. To I have confidence, but not to the point where we become cocky about it. You know,
Good.
Like there's a line right there where
man.
you have too much confidence, you become cocky, and that's what I never want to be cocky. And you know what? I don't bash other barbecue guys or gals, whoever's out there. I don't bash them. Everyone's food is great. You know, I think the barbecue community, I like the fact that we come together and praise each other and look out for each other and stuff. And when there's good food that's out there, man, you know, let people know it. You know, it's like, you know, all that stuff. If it's good, it's good. You know, it's good in your eyes. So it doesn't matter whether you cook on a Traeger, pellet fed. It doesn't matter if you're using charcoal. Doesn't matter if you're doing what we do, a stick burner or slow smoke. Hey man, you like barbecue, you know, do it.
Your
Using
way.
propane, that's okay. As long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. That's all that
Definitely,
matters,
man.
is what you're doing, and if you're happy with what
good,
you're cooking.
dude. I love that.
You know, we're just fortunate, you know, to have the machine that we have, which is our nice Lang heavy duty, you know, machine that cooks and puts out a product that to me, in my eyes, helps me, you know, get there.
Exactly. You want to add something to that, bro? Ask something about that. I like where it's going, man. I like what's been said so far. What do you think so far?
Well, like my brother said, we don't want to cut corners.
Of course.
So we're using quality ingredients, quality products. We don't use choice products. We use prime when we get our meats and everything. We make sure we get the top of the line stuff. We go for the organic pigs and support our local farmers here.
Awesome.
And even with our rubs, you know, we have one rub that we really like, and my brother's perfecting it and making a better rub. So we're always going to be evolving. Even our sauces that we do for our sides, if we see another product that we like that's still quality, we're going to go, and we've tried it, and now that it's coming out better. And we want to keep doing that. We want to keep perfecting our recipes.
She just found a new heavy cream that she likes using for her mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Because our mac and cheese is made from scratch, bro. Like,
like
a roux.
Fire, bro.
It's fire.
Right. I saw your post that you guys ran out. Not like last time you guys were at Johnny's. Yeah. Before we move on, bro, we're gonna take a little break. But I want to, you know, piggyback off of that next.
Okay.
Because then we'll start and kind of talk about more pressure stuff and like how you keep evolving as like a barbecue and also as a person.
Okay.
All right.
So far, guys, what I picked up from this is they're always a student of the game.
That's
A student of the game because they're always constantly learning. You've seen their growth in 2 years. It's a lot.
Definitely.
But they're still learning, and you heard it from them. And we'll be back after this
Short break. Yeah. Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, so we're back. We left off talking about the ingredients you guys use, like mac and cheese, especially. We talked about like the quality, and then I know you talk a lot about like you want to make your profits, but at the same time you're more focused on the quality of your work.
That's right.
So let's kind of dig deep into like what really drives you to do that, man. I know you like to give back, and right now you mentioned that you like to do things with the greater cause. So has that always been in you? Has that always been a thing? Like, did you grow up around that environment that you want to give back?
Yeah, I grew up in an environment. I mean, our family wasn't, you know, the most well-off family. You know, I remember, you know, standing in line, you know, for bread kind of thing. You know? I remember my mom sending us to the store with food stamps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've never been really well off. You know, eating sopa for dinner. You know, that's all you had, right? You know, so growing up and seeing like the fire department, you know, giving back to the kids and stuff.
Definitely.
Growing up and seeing people come through, you know, paying my mom or helping my mom out so I could play football and Pop Warner football, you know.
Yep.
So you know, I always think about that and how people have always given back to us, and I feel that my job as now that I'm an adult, and we don't have, I wouldn't say we have excess, but if I do have excess, I want to be able to give back.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Money's gonna come and it's gonna go. You know, and as long as me and my family are happy, you know, I'm always gonna be able to help whoever can be. Can be, you know, doesn't have the help out there. So, you know, with our barbecue business, like I said, with the competitions we go to, we try to look for competitions that have something behind it, like a cause, you know, whether it be like childhood leukemia or childhood autism or anything like that, especially when it comes to kids. You know, that's the soft spot in my heart. You know,
dude.
Kids, I want kids to be able to have the same, you know, uprisings and same opportunities as I had as a kid, no matter what their disabilities are,
Definitely.
no matter where they came from. You know, even if it's not a family that maybe this mom can't afford to put her kids through Little League.
Yeah.
You know, hey, if we can be there to help. Dude, I want to help however I can, even if it's just with $50, $100, $500, whatever we got right now in our bank account.
Definitely.
You know, and so the way I see it is, you know, we're always going to be, you know, doing what we do. Money's going to come in.
Definitely.
Money's going to go out. We're not trying to get rich, you know, doing barbecue, because
Definitely.
I don't know that we can, but, you know, we can be happy and support and help out our community. That's what it's all about.
So, yeah, I mean, as siblings, like, I mean, obviously both of you grew up in the same environment. Do you find it, do you find that as like a driver almost? Like, I talk a lot about OD, like a lot of things aren't in your control. So it wasn't your fault that you had to grow up and have soap out for dinner.
Right.
So how did you turn that setback, that adversity, into like, anybody can look at it as negative, man. Like, dude, come on, you gotta feel bad for me, man. I had soap out for dinner.
Right.
Except you didn't make me feel bad about it right now. Instead, I saw that the fact that you can see in your eyes, it drives you.
Yes.
And what you just said right now, like, you do it for people, like good causes, man. Like, they have a disability. Doesn't mean they can't do what you do.
Right.
So do you feel that you guys instill in that each and every day, especially through your food and like through life, like, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
does that make sense? Like,
for us, it was normal. You know, we didn't have
the
enough
unity
to
part,
eat.
or
well, for us, we've seen a lot of people around us, you know, not having enough to eat, or, you know, at one point in time we were even homeless when we were younger.
Wow.
But we made it a point to better ourselves, and it's how we grew up. We wanted a better life for our kids,
of course,
and we wanted to be successful individuals. So we worked hard at school and, you know, jobs and our families to make sure that they never went through that they always had a roof under their head, that they always had food on the table, and we would go without so that our kids would. And
exactly. The sacrifice, right?
Exactly, because you want your kids to have a better life and you want to give back. And even my daughter has a disability. She only has one ear.
Oh,
so
wow.
she gets picked on all the time because she looks different. And I brought her in the shop, you've seen her, and she gets bullied a lot because she can't hear. She's half deaf, and, you know, she'll look a little different. So there's businesses here that's done benefit barbecues for her to help pay for her medical expenses and surgeries and stuff like that. But you always want to make sure that the kids are always taken care of, because it's like,
that's the future, right?
They had no choice. They were born the way they were born.
With Scarlett, we don't hold her back. Like, I remember one year she played junior Giants baseball, and you know, she's not the most coordinated and athletic because of her ear. It messes with her equilibrium and balance. But
of course.
And I remember one year my sister said, "No, I'm not going to sign her up this year." I go, "No, get her out there. Let's keep going. She had fun. Let's get her going. You know, I'll buy her gear. We'll get her out there." And we did. We got her out there in the field again, and she loves that stuff. She's in dance. You know, I take her on
Scouts.
She's Girl Scouts. I take her on bike rides now. We go riding around, cruising around. I think we came here one day. We rode our bikes here one day just to get her out there, just so she knows that
there's more out there.
It doesn't matter what's going on with her. She can do anything that she wants to do.
Exactly. She can do anything anybody else does. Any kid does it. So we don't treat her differently. You know,
that's
we give
good.
her the same opportunities, and that's all we want, is kids to have the same opportunities as everyone else, regardless if you have the money to do it or you have the disability. It doesn't matter. Just set them up for success, not failure. Invest in them and bring them up. That's all it is.
Do you think that stems back from your parents? Like, did your parents instill that in you guys? Where, like, you know, you have all these opportunities, or did you feel the pressure from your parents?
My parents did the best they could with what they had, and you know, both my parents, high school education, you know, and again, I'm not trying to paint a bad picture or a picture of, you know, but it was different times. You know, I was born in the 70s. grew up through the 80s, so it was different times back then. And, you know, both parents, high school education. My mom worked hard to try to, you know, take care of us. My dad got jobs wherever he could here and there and stuff. But, you know, the situation was what it was. You know, like, we can't change anything that happened in the past. All I can do is look to see what's going to happen next.
Exactly. You
know?
paved the way.
Exactly. So that's what my upbringing taught me is, hey, you can't change where you've been. All you can do is make a difference of where you're going.
Exactly.
You know? So
Dude,
that's
like
what
that.
the hard work. You know, I went to school. I got 2 years of JC under my belt. You know, I didn't go to college and got into a company, started working hard, and now I'm a corporate executive. You know.
There you go.
And then I do barbecue as a hobby on the side, and hopefully someday it turns into something bigger. But you know, it's just that hard work. You know, just keep working hard. You know, that's some of my family members have instilled that in us. Is hard work will get you to the top. You know, you don't cheat, you don't skimp, you don't cut corners, and that's in everything you do.
Exactly. So you apply that to your barbecue.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't skimp your ingredients. You don't skimp the quality of your meat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the viewers watching this, what is it that you do for your job?
So for my job, I work for Big 5 Sporting Goods. I'm a regional loss prevention manager. And you know, so I'm sort of made it up to that corporate level where I'm no longer like I used to be in the stores. 21 years with this company.
Wow.
I used to be in the stores, running stores, things like that. I worked my way up. Now I've been for almost 9 years doing that corporate level job, and you know I enjoy it. It's fun. It gives me the ability, the freedom to do this barbecue because now I work corporate hours, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, weekends off. So it allows me the time to be able to do this. You know, versus if I work retail hours, you know, that could be nights, weekends, all that, holidays, all that stuff. It makes it tough. But I put in my time, you know.
But I like that. I think there's a deeper message to that because I look at it as like you don't let your 9 to 5, you know, we'll say that, hold you back from what you guys are doing through your business.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people tell themselves their excuse, I'm too tired.
Yeah.
I worked all day. You know, I don't have the energy to do it. It could wait for tomorrow.
Right.
But I feel like you get off and boom, you're making rubs. You're getting your meats. You're getting ready for Johnny's. You're getting ready for these competitions. How do you keep the energy? How do you find it and keep it?
You know, I think just having that passion, you know, for what you do. And so I get home from work and sure, am I tired? Absolutely. The commute home from San Jose, I mean, man, that's brutal. But as soon as I put on the other hat, you know, so to speak, then it's like you know,
you just refilled. That was your charge up.
It feels like Superman coming out of a phone booth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just feel like ready to go. You know,
Definitely, man.
Let's go conquer this. And then I'm at my sister's house late at night. We're making rubs or I'm trimming briskets till like 10, 11 o'clock at night for the next day. And you know, or we're making runs to the restaurant, you know, to the store to get supplies. And you know, and then now it's like, you know, now we're ready. You know, and I think it's important because your prep and everything you do before is just as important as the day of, you know, the day of cooking. Because if you're not ready, if you're not prepped, I mean, you know, I've always had a saying when I grew up, it's prior proper planning prevents poor performance. You know, so if you plan and get it all done, then you'll always succeed.
I've never heard that before, man. That's cool.
But it takes that path getting up to there. You know, you got to plan it properly. Otherwise, you're gonna fall flat on your face. I can't think that if I think that I can just show up at Johnny's or show up at an event and just wing it. Oh man,
you already lost, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm already behind the 8 ball. I'm done.
You're setting yourself up for failure that way.
Yes. So in order to be successful, you have to practice success. You know, you have to practice it. Because if you don't practice success, man, who knows what's going to happen?
No, we're always communicating too about prepping. I mean, what products do we have? What supplies do we need? And you know, how stocked up are we? What is our bandwidth? And it's nice because where we get our supplies is a half a mile from my job in San Jose. So I work full time too, just like my brother. And when I come home, I have, you know, mommy duties.
Yeah.
And what is it that you do?
Oh, I work for a company called 8x8 in San Jose. It's a telecommunications company.
Okay.
So I train our new hires and our reps on our product and features, and then I do the operations.
Definitely.
Bro, don't let her fool you. She travels all over the country now too for work.
No, I'll travel
So she's even busier than I am. Her
Yeah.
commute's bigger than I am. She's been in New York and Chicago and all that stuff doing.
Yeah, definitely. Do you feel like that's helped you though? See the world different? Like you like us, you know, we're stealing your knowledge. Do you feel like you go to another location, see something different, like, oh wow, bring it back home and like, do we have to do something like this?
Does that like open up your mind to?
It makes me appreciate what we have because not a lot of siblings can work together and do something enjoyable, like a barbecue experience. You don't see that. You'll see like a brothers, or you'll see maybe a couple of cousins or a couple of good guy friends, but it's never really brother and sister.
Yeah,
I
that's
hardly
true.
ever seen brother and sister, but we've always gotten along and really well together growing up. So it's nice. But we'll plan ahead really well. What do we need? And then I'll get some of the supplies from where we get it at, and then I'll bring it home and I stock it at my house, and then he'll come over and we make the sides and the rubs and stuff like that. And we plan it out. What do we need? And it comes together really well because we have really good communication.
Yeah, and to answer your question about the when we're out and about, do we see things that we bring back? Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
We got a few dishes like our bacon wrapped dates. You know,
Oh, that's different.
We wrap dates. We take dates, like nice dried dates, big fat ones, and wrap them in bacon, slow smoke them, and it comes out like
You saw that
bacon.
somewhere else?
Yes.
And kind of just like, do we have to try
Yes. So we take those ideas, but then we make them our own.
Exactly.
We'll add our rub to it. We'll maybe add a little flair. Put it on a skewer, make it look good.
That sounds
and
good.
then people, and it's like, man, people think, oh, bacon wrapped dates, that's weird.
Yeah.
No. You've had bacon candy. It's just like bacon candy, except it's warm, it's soft, it's chewy, it's like dessert.
Yeah.
So
There's something I actually want to ask because like my whole mentality changed because OD's a father. I'm a father now. You guys are parents, right? When I feel like your mental framework changes when you have a child because there's someone bigger than you that you have to take care of. It's no longer yourself, right?
Yeah.
So how do you balance that where you're busy, you guys are busy doing your 9-to-5 jobs, your everyday jobs, yet you guys still grind on the barbecue side? Where's the family time where it doesn't get disconnected? Are they included, or are they kind of like, do you feel that pressure sometimes like, man, I haven't spent time with my family? Mm-hmm. Or is it like we're barbecuing as a family, so it became a family thing, like everyone's having fun with it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I'll let my sister answer that one first because her being a single mom,
Oh, okay.
a little different environment than me having a partner to help.
Okay, yeah. So
it initially it was hard for my daughter because me working full time, and then I just recently graduated with my master's, so
Congratulations.
I was busy with school and then helping my brother on the side. It took a lot of time away from my daughter, and since I'm the only consistent person in her life that she's ever had, it took a toll on her, and she started going through withdrawals, or she's becoming really emotional. Mm-hmm. But the great part about that was it opened up a communication window for us to talk about more about what she's going through. And then another good part about this, she wasn't alone. She was at my brother's house, so she had her cousins with her. She had her family there, so she wasn't left alone or with strangers or a babysitter. She was swimming, she was eating, and then they would bring her over when it was lunchtime, and they would all eat together as a family, and they would see what we would do. Scarlett, my daughter, would see my brother coming over, making the rubs together, and what we had to do, and then I would barbecue sometimes at the house. So she had her friends come over, so she understands it's a fun experience. It brings people together. She loves barbecue.
And that must have felt good, just seeing your daughter, almost appreciate it, right?
Now she likes it.
That's amazing.
But it's still, if it gets overwhelming, last year we were doing so many barbecues that it took a toll on ourselves and on our families, and we got burned out a lot.
Yeah.
So now that we take a step back and only do it once or maybe twice a month, we still get to enjoy our family time.
Of course.
And then we get to enjoy the barbecue experience, and we don't get burned out on it.
Of course.
So it did get to that overwhelming
It
stage.
did, yeah,
And then you
because
gotta
we were
step
starting
back.
out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Last year it did become a little overwhelming because we were getting booked and we were cooking so much that it was like my Monday through Friday turned into Monday through Sunday,
Yeah.
and then being just useless on Monday.
Yeah.
Go back to work again, But so this year we did restructure our schedule and do things a little differently and plan better, and I think that goes with having some experience under your belt.
Yeah.
You gotta
find different
find
things,
time
right?
for other things in your life. Like for me, my other hobby is fishing. I love to go bass fishing, saltwater fishing. So finding that time to get out on the water, it's always important. But getting back to your family question, so the way I do it is I have 4 sons. I don't know if you knew that. I have 4 sons. My oldest is 20. He's a sophomore at San Francisco State.
Oh, nice.
And so part of what we did this business was to help fund sort of the offset the cost of college, And besides my wife, he's the only other one in our family to go to college.
Okay.
And my sister here. So that was very important for us to make sure that, he had the opportunities to get there, because like we said earlier, we want our kids to grow up and have more and be better than what we were. So if he goes to a 4-year school and graduates, he's going to be well off right off the bat.
Definitely.
He's going to get a good job versus us having to have that struggle of working hard to get to the top.
Yeah.
So that's what that, and then he comes out and helps. Like, he's in town right now. He's going to help for the 4th of July.
And he likes to be
weekend.
involved.
He's involved. Yeah, we make him involved. And my other boys, I have another son, Noah. He's a junior here at San Mateo High. My son Joel, he's going to be in the 8th grade at Rancho here. And then my little boy Samuel, who's he turned 7 today.
Oh,
so,
happy birthday! Happy birthday, Samuel.
Yeah, so my wife's like, "Hey, his birthday's today. You better get home quick." So,
Yeah.
But so he's 7,
well, I mean-
and he and Scarlett are like 2 peas in a pod, man. They're
Awesome.
they're best buddies, and they run around. They ask for each other, and so Samuel doesn't really have any involvement, but my son Joel will come out sometimes and help clean tables or wait tables or take orders or just help out there. My son Noah sometimes will help me, kind of prep or rub meats or do things like that. But I try to get my boys involved.
Good.
In some capacity. I mean, they don't always. I mean, hanging out with dad isn't as cool as they get older. When they're little boys, hanging out with dad, dad's a superstar, right? But as they get older, dad's not as cool and stuff. So, but I'm fortunate that my boys, they like to help and
Good.
And I mean, I'll never turn down help. It's important.
Yeah, I bet that makes you feel good too. As a father and as a person.
Yeah, and it keeps the family together. My wife even will help sometimes when my sister's not available and stuff. So. That's how we kind of incorporate the family time back into what we do. Because you're right. If you don't stop and take time to put that in place, then man, what are you as what kind of father are you? What kind of husband are you? What kind of brother? You still got to be able to play all those other roles.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's important.
Definitely.
That's
you
why
have to have a healthy balance.
That's why I take time to go pick up my niece and go bike rides. You know what I mean? Because you got that time has to be there.
Yeah, man.
It has to be there. And if you're not taking that kind of time, then man, life gets away from you too fast.
It slips out.
Before you know it, you're at a certain age and you look back and you go, man, where did it go?
Yeah.
Why do I feel regret? And I don't ever want to feel regret.
So before we finish off, I don't want to cut you guys
Yeah,
off, but it's gonna be about time. 2 things that I want you guys to finish off with. How did Theo's Barbecue come about? Like the name, and a message you guys would like to share to the viewers. Something. One thing that I think could help is a lot of people have 9 to 5s, and they want to share and they want to do certain things, but they say they don't got the time. You guys are walking, proof of something that's doable.
Yeah.
So, how did the name come about? And one message.
Any last words on that?
Yeah.
So Theo's Barbecue, like I said before, it's a family. It's about family. The way I cook barbecue, it's at home. It'll be the same way I cook for strangers. My uncles, taught me how to barbecue when I was a kid growing up. And my oldest uncle, Danny, I think I mentioned earlier, who passed away when we was young, and his memory stays strong with us. He was really big about barbecue and the family being together. And so, just kind of coming up with ideas, and I threw a lot of names around, and my sister had her daughter Scarlett, who would always, Theo, run up to me, and, I'm like, man, you know what? And then she would always say, yeah, this is Theo's Barbecue. We're going to go have Theo's Barbecue. And, I told my sister, I called her up one day because we're thinking about names for when we were going to start doing this, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to name it Theo's Barbecue. She goes, why? Why Theo's Barbecue? I go, because of Scarlett and because of our Theos, and it's like an homage to them.
Yeah, it made sense, right? It made sense.
Yeah, it just kind of rolled off the tongue. It came together like
I like
it was a no-brainer,
Yeah.
And so instead of trying to come up with the coolest name or the fanciest this or that, we just called it what it was. This is Theo's Barbecue. This is real.
Yeah,
This is a homemade name.
Homemade.
Something that can be sort of people can remember, and it's kind of funny because I'll go into town and people who don't know who I am, but they've seen where I've been and what I've done. They go, hey, Theo, what's going on? And I'll look around, I'm like, hey, so now everyone's Theo.
Theo, you're the Theo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how the name kind of came about, and it kind of stuck. And I'm going to be updating our social media sites to just kind of give a little paragraph to my, for my uncles in my life.
Good.
And sort of a little more about that. I really haven't. We've been so busy. My social media sites are a little outdated, but we'll kind of update them and stuff so people understand and know like what
the real story behind it.
What we're all about.
Good,
And
man.
life's gonna keep us
And
busy.
I think you saw I posted my Uncle Danny's picture on,
Yeah.
on our Instagram page. Just kind of like the first time I really did that. Because, you know, it's a tender
It hits
subject
hard,
for us.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you know, we love our Uncle Danny. And oh, man, I wish he could be here to enjoy all of this with us. And that was the first time I posted a picture of him. You know, people really don't know what,
Yeah,
what
man.
that's all about.
That takes a lot of courage, though, man. I appreciate those type of posts, man. Because even though it takes a lot out of you, I bet you feel good about it though, because you remember what you're doing it for.
Yeah, exactly. And then the response I got from some of my cousins, you know, and then the really the hardest part too is when he passed away. Like his daughters, he has two daughters, and their mother had passed away when they were really like young, like they were like before they were 10 years old.
Wow.
And then to lose their father when they were teenagers, you know, was really,
Yeah.
to me, it was devastating enough. But then for them not to have mother and father, you know. You know, that was
some real
you know,
stuff,
oh,
man.
Yeah, because
That's
you know
real
we
stuff.
grew up with our cousins, man. We all lived under the same roof at one point. You know, families helping family. It's just family. That's we're about family.
I like that, man. I respect that a lot. I like that. I think that's a message, you know, that they want to pass down. And you know, before we finish here, is there anything else you want to give out to people? You know, a mental framework.
Well,
one of those
life
things.
is going to keep you busy. You know, you always have work, you always have your family, but never stop growing. Just whatever you want to do, helping each other out. If you have a goal, dream, it's going to be hard, but go for it. Reach it. No matter what, no matter what the struggles are, just keep going.
Keep going.
Absolutely. You know, for us, there were a lot of speed bumps and hurdles that got in the way, but never lose sight of. I always tell my boys at home, you know, keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize. Eye on the prize. Shoot for the stars. Hey, and if you hit the moon, hey, that's good stuff right there. Because you know what? We're never going to be perfect, you know?
No, never.
We're never going to have, nothing's ever going to be absolutely immaculate, perfect, you know? And even when I cook sometimes, oh man, we got a flare up. I remember one time we were at a competition, and this is the one I told you I took 7th place at in Livermore, and I had a grease fire in my pit, and half my ribs got charred, and I was like, oh. But you know what? I didn't lose focus. And
Setbacks,
the
dude.
ones that were still in good shape, we turned those in, and out of 34 teams, we took 7th place. And I was like, man, even after a big grease fire, you know, it's like, don't lose focus. You know, there are going to be things that come
Don't
up.
accept defeat.
Yes,
you
there
know,
are challenges, and just kind of persevere and push through everything. And
Awesome.
like I said, reach for the stars, man, and just work hard, because I think I mentioned earlier, you know, hard work will beat that talent when that talented person doesn't work hard.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And there you have it. I think that's a successful heist, our second one. I think we hit some pretty personal topics, really insightful. I appreciate you guys coming, you guys' time here.
Thank you for having
Go
me.
check out their barbecue. I have yet to check it out, but this whole interview, man, made my mouth water. OD, I take his word for it because he's a food enthusiast. I'll take your word for it because you guys are the master of barbecue, and hopefully I want to have you guys back again. See the evolution of you guys.
Sure.
We'll have a different conversation next time, and it's a pleasure.
All right,
and
thank you for having us.
happy to
Thank
meet
you.
you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.